Steve Kerr, coach of the Warriors, was on a radio station up in the Bay Area, a very popular radio station, a very popular show, and he was saying on Steph Curry, his truly most valuable player, dude is not close to playing. Wow. Golden State with no Steph Curry. Now you think to yourself, Golden State's got 4 All-Stars. Only one Steph Curry is missing. All good. That's not really what's happening. Golden State in the last 20 games where Steph has played and Kevin Durant hasn't, they're 20-0. In the last 20 games in which KD has played and Steph hasn't, 11-9. But here's what's interesting when Kevin Durant came to the Warriors. And I'll tell you how it reminds me of presidential elections. When Kevin Durant came to Golden State to win more, he did. But the move to Golden State has unveiled the truth about Kevin Durant. He's not an alpha. He's not really a leader. He doesn't want to change the world, telling Bill Simmons recently, I just want to hoop and play video games. And he's not as valuable as we think. And man, when it comes to the media, boy, does he have rabbit ears. Kevin Durant in Oklahoma City was talented and liked, and LeBron's guy, sort of a mystery. Small market. They had Westbrook, who was flashier and more talked about. In Golden State spotlight, though, we've learned the weaknesses which we didn't know about. This is why it reminds me of presidential elections. When a man runs for president, any of them, Democrat, Independent, Libertarian, Republican, we already know they're successful. He's a governor. She's a senator. He's a real estate mogul. But once you take and run for a high-profile job like president, we learn of your weaknesses. Oh, she's unethical. He's a creep. He's a liar. So is she. The magnifying glass on higher-profile jobs overwhelmingly sheds negative light, not positive. When people run for president, we know they're capable. We know they're smart. They often go to big schools, Cornell and Brown and Penn and Wharton. What we don't know is that shady real estate deal in the 70s where she did that or he did that. When Kevin Durant was in Oklahoma City, we knew all the good stuff. When Jeb Bush was just in Florida, he was a Bush. Then he ran for president. Oh my God, he's the world's most boring man. Kevin Durant was overwhelmingly liked and appealing. But this move to Golden State, a higher profile job, now with Steph out, has really unveiled the truth. He wants to hoop and play video games. He's not an alpha. Doesn't really have the leadership qualities we're looking for that Steph has. He's not only not more valuable than LeBron or better than LeBron, he's not even the most valuable player on his own team. The higher profile the job, the more intense the scrutiny, the more we see your weaknesses. At this point, Durant's just super talented, and that's it. I mean, that's really it. I've always had a belief, let me clarify myself here, that there is a greater burden of responsibility on the man running the company than the kid in the mailroom. Right? The GM of the car dealership has got a burden of responsibility. The guy or gal waxing the car out back does. More viewed, more discussed, more powerful, higher compensation. So Westbrook's a superstar. He's one of the 20, 30 superstars in America, and he's doing some stat padding. Carmelo admits it. We've got video proof, mostly on his rebounds. Ask yourself this. Why did Barry Bonds bother us? It wasn't like Barry Bonds, when he was taking HGH cream or whatever it was called, was winning the World Series. He wasn't. Sammy Sosa didn't win it either. Mark McGwire wasn't winning it either. But it really deeply bothered us with Barry Bonds because he was going to take the records of a very decent man who dealt with things in the 60s and 70s no human should, Hank Aaron, out of the record books. Hank Aaron has never sought attention. He starred in a time in America where it was difficult to be Hank Aaron. Barry Bonds' HGH use made Hank Aaron less relevant historically. That's why there is a burden on superstars, because you'll shatter and break all-time records. Westbrook would average 25 and 10 points and assists without goosing, but he'd give about 6 rebounds a game. The goosing gets him a triple-double. And who does that make less relevant? A very decent man, Oscar Robertson, who has never sought attention. But he is now, today, less relevant. We erect statues and write books about legends. It would be one thing if a C-minus NBA player on a given night got a triple-double and his teammates got out of the way for a couple of rebounds so he could accomplish something he'd never done before. That wouldn't change the books. They're not building statues for guys like that. But Westbrook and Bonds, when you goose or pad numbers, are changing books. That's what bothers me. Stat padding, HGH, goosing numbers. There is a burden when you're as gifted as Magic and Duncan and Bird to do it right. If Lance Armstrong, while using, was finishing 183rd in the tour, who gives a rip? But he makes Greg LeMond less relevant. To me, and maybe only me, that stuff matters. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.